Okay guys, welcome back. So I want to show you guys Zara'S birthday party. Everything that you see was a DIY. So if you want to see a video on something that you saw in her birthday party video, please leave a comment down below and I'll do a DIY for it. But today we're going to start on the piñata. And first I made a template using some brown paper and I just kind of drew out what I wanted the ice cream cone to look like. And I made sure both sides of the cone itself was even, just by making sure I took some basic measurements, and then I kind of just drew the scoop by hand, freehanded, and just made sure it was even all the way through. So now I'm just going to pin it to some cardboard. You can buy cardboard or just use a recyclable box, and I'm just going to pin the little template to the cardboard and just trace it with a permanent marker. Now for this step you can use scissors. You can use a box cutter, and you saw me draw a line. That was just to make sure it was even, but I'm just cutting the cardboard box I had available in half using a box cutter. Just be careful guys, if you're a kid and you're doing this, make sure a grown-up is with you. These things are really sharp. I was actually really nervous doing this because I've cut myself before, so just be very careful, but a box cutter is way better than using scissors. So once you have it, I took the other half away, but you're going to need the other half. I was trying to split the cardboard to cut it with scissors, but it wasn't working. So I decided to go ahead and just cut it with the box cutter first, as you see here. But you need to put that other piece of cardboard underneath it so you don't damage your surface, or if you have like a mat that you can use, then that would be better. So I'm just cutting out my basically my ice cream for the piñata using the box cutter. So once again, just be very careful and just go around and take your time, and then kind of just pop it out and just go through and make sure you give it a nice second cut, because sometimes the first cut doesn't really get it out all the way. So once you kind of go around and give it that nice second cut, it should just really pop out of the cardboard. As you guys can see, it just popped right on out. And so here's the other part. You can do two thick pieces, but I wanted to split to make it easier for the kids to kind of bust this piñata open instead of spending 30-40 minutes trying to bust open a piñata. The tricky part is that it would tear, and so you have to be very careful. And here it looks like I'm going really fast, but that's because I sped it up for you guys. But I took my time. It took me a good 20 minutes to kind of gently pull the two pieces of cardboard separate from each other. So just be very careful when doing this so that you don't ruin your piñata, or you have to cut a whole nother piece. But that's the glory of it. You have more cardboard because it's recyclable, you know. So once you have your two pieces, one side was a bit thicker than the other, but I didn't mind that. I was going to go ahead and make a new one, but I decided to go with it. So what I was doing was measuring the length of the sides of the actual piñata, because I was going to do the sides of it the same shape as the sides of the piñata or the ice cream scoop, not realizing that I just really need strips of this, and then I was going to go around it. So you guys will see me, I'm doing some measurements, then I realized that I was doing it wrong, so I go back and I change it. So I end up doing two long strips of cardboard and taping that and using that for the side. So you're seeing me just measuring the actual circle and trying to create this template, and I was doing it all wrong. So yeah, now I realized the mistake I made, and I'm just going to do two long strips. And it doesn't matter because all of these lines are going to be covered up anyway, so it doesn't matter your mistakes. No one's going to see this, no one's going to know except for you, because you're going to cover all this up anyways. So I did my strips about, I think, 4 inches wide. So I had a 2-inch ruler, as you saw me using. So I did them 4 inches wide, and I can't remember, I think they were like 32 inches long, because that big long ruler that you see on the side there, I got that from Lowe's, and it was literally like 99 cents. So I did each piece 32 inches long and 4 inches wide. I'm not for sure how long my piñata was, but it was pretty big for a 1-year-old birthday party. So I'm just using the box cutter once again to cut it out, making sure I didn't go all the way through the box so I didn't cut my table. Okay, so for this part, I didn't film it, but I did split the sides, those strips, into halves because I wanted it to be a little bit thinner so that it's not hard for the kids to kind of bust this piñata open. Now I'm just going to take masking tape, and this is just the regular brown tape that you can use for any art project. And I'm just taping the sides of the strips with the side of the ice cream cone all the way around, and then I'm going to go in with some other tape and some hot glue just to kind of make sure everything is nice and secure. But you're going to take a little bit of amount of tape. It doesn't take a whole lot. It's just a little bit of effort and creativity and patience. So I'm just going to go around, and I was pleasantly surprised on how fast this actually was. I thought it was going to be hard, but once you kind of do it, it was really easy. And I think I needed one more piece of strip once I kind of got these two around, so I needed an extra small piece, so I did that once I finished these, and then I taped the other side to the strips just as well. So now that you see I have it all taped up, this is the next day, guys. It took me a long time. I also made a little pocket for the actual candy to go inside, so you want to make sure you cut that before you decorate. That way you know where you're going to put that little pocket at, or that little door for your candy. So I found this paper at IKEA, and it's perfect for ice cream cones because it has that waffle look to it. So first I was trying to figure out how to wrap this like a present, and I was having the hardest time. So what I did was I just traced the actual ice cream cone, and I made two pieces, and that is what I took as the face for the cone, and I hot glued that to the front and the back. And then for the sides, I kind of just, you know, covered it the best way I could. There was no real technique to this part. It's just finding the easiest way for you, and that's what I basically did. I just found the easiest way to cover the sides, and I did it. But a tip is to iron the paper out to keep it from rolling, and I didn't do that, and I know to do that. I was just trying to hurry up. But if you iron the paper out, it'll make it nice and straight. Keep it on low heat, and you can definitely look at the kids in the background. They're a hot mess. But I just taped this down, and then I went in with the hot glue gun. Hot glue is your best friend, and I went with hot glue gun because the tape would not stick, and I just laid it down, and it was super easy. So now you guys are seeing me trying to cover the sides, and I was trying to figure out the cleanest way to do this, but there was really no real way to make it look as good as I wanted it to look, because most piñatas have like all the little ruffle paper to cover any mistakes, and with this you're going to see the mistakes, which I was okay with because it's a DIY. But I mean, in retrospect, I think I should have taken a little bit more time to make it look a little better, but I think it turned out pretty good for what it was. As you can see, I'm trying different things to figure out how to make this stay on and look as good as I wanted it to. So I tried it this way first, and then you'll see on the other side I did a whole different way, and at the end it still was really cute, and no one knew that I made it until I told everyone at the party that I did a DIY piñata, and they were really excited about it. They thought it was really cute. And I did use this paper for a lot other of the decor at Zara'S birthday party. Okay, day number 3, and now it's time to actually decorate the piñata. So I'm taking some white tissue paper, and I'm folding it into long strips, and this was like 10 sheets of tissue paper, and I'm taking it long ways, and I'm just making some folds because I'm going to cut them into strips, as you see here. Once you cut them into strips, you're going to cut that strip into smaller little pieces, but not going through the top. So you'll see I'm just cutting slits, but you're not going all the way through, and then you're going to make little ruffles. So I did this for all the other strips. Sorry, I was just thinking you're going to do this for all the strips and make little ruffles, and that's what you're going to use to cover the top. So now I have all my ruffles. You see on my seams, my little pocket, there it is. It's all nice and done. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and glue down those edges, and you saw that I drew also where I wanted my ice cream scoop edges to be. So first I'm just placing it there, and I'm just taking a look. So I'm going to do one side, and I'm going to come back and show you guys how it looked. So this is that side. I finished it. It looked really cute. I loved how it looked, and it's okay if it's a little messy, because at the end it's going to look like an ice cream scoop, and an ice cream scoop is not even, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out my template, as you saw me draw the lines. Then I cut the excess, and I'm going to glue down that extra paper onto the actual cardboard so that it doesn't flap up even with the tissue paper. Then your best thing for the tissue paper is not a hot glue gun, it's actually a glue stick. I wouldn't even recommend liquid glue because that's going to be even messier, but a glue stick is your best option because you can literally just go and rub it on the cardboard and tack down the actual tissue paper, and it looked super cute, and it was super fast to do it with the glue stick. I think all in all, to do both sides, it took me about 30 minutes together, and that was because I was being really particular, but I did both sides and the side of the actual ice cream scoop. So that's all you do. You just put the glue and you just add your ruffle, and you want to do it a little bit close, not too far apart, just so you won't see anything underneath each layer. Okay, so Zara loved it. It was Zara approved. I had to show her. She was so happy to see it. And so I did both sides and I did the sides, and here comes the sprinkles. Each ice cream scoop has sprinkles. So I had this pastel paper, and this is the paper I used for all of the other decor as well, because I want to make sure everything was even. And I cut a 1/2 inch line, and then I just cut a long strip, and I used that strip and I cut it into other pieces, and those pieces became my little sprinkles. So all I did was just cut that into pieces, and then I just hot glued it onto the ice cream scoop. So there's no real way, I just kind of placed them down to see how they would look, but there's no real way to do this. You kind of just place them and just hot glue them down, and it looked super cute. I put some on both sides and all around the ice cream scoop, just to give it that sprinkle feeling. And oh, you want to make sure your string is already onto your piñata before you put your tissue paper. I don't know if I said that before, but please do that, because then it'll be hard to do it once it's all decorated and all cute. But that was pretty much it. I just put the sprinkles on there. So that was it, guys. It was pretty much done at that point. It's really cute. I filled it up with candy at the day of the party, and it can fill like so much candy in there. It was crazy, and everyone loved it. I thought it was super cute. And as you can see, the kids had so much fun hitting it. Zoe was the one who actually knocked it down, and my niece and nephew, they tore it up. They were not playing, and it was actually really sturdy and hard to actually like bust open. But once they busted open, they got all the goodies out of there, and everyone loved it, and everybody was so surprised on how it was a DIY. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Let me know if you want to see any more DIY decor videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.